Right, everyone. Hello, wherever you are in the world. It's always wonderful to see your lovely faces. And I especially like the topic we're going to talk about today because this is not only something that affects us in business, this is actually something that affects us in life. And I see it costing people a lot of business. So we're going to talk about trust. And so for those of you who's not been on this journey with me, we are basically busy with the money train, which is part of module 5, the smart marketing module. And the last time I was on, I was speaking about leads and how to generate leads. But today we're going a little bit more into trust and what you can do to create trust in your business, especially with strangers. So we're going to talk about how you can help potential customers to trust you as an expert in your field. And this is interesting because many of us can feel rejection so quickly. You are maybe in your early 40s, maybe in your early 50s or 60s or 70s. And what you've basically done all your life is you've accumulated all these bad experiences about, not being good enough, or, not pretty enough, or not smart enough, or not tall enough, or not skinny enough, or the list goes on and on and on. So it's very natural for you to get to a point where you think people don't want you anymore. People just reject you all the time. People don't think you're cool. Whatever is going on in your mind, it's natural for you to think like that because of all this crap you've accumulated. But if you can raise your awareness, and that's what I'm going to attempt to do today, is to raise your awareness, you'll see that all that stuff in your head is just stuff in your head. It's not real. It's, you may have, let's say you're 60 years old, you could have been rejected by, let's say, I'm just using a number, right? You could have been rejected by 1,000 people in your career, right? There's millions and billions of people on this planet. So you can't take your 1,000 rejections and see that as reality. You have to ask yourself, maybe I've been hanging out with the wrong people, maybe it's not my people. But even better, and this is where I want to empower you today, is to say, well, never mind being in the wrong pool of people or whatever. What if I'm the problem? What if I have not helped them to trust me? In other words, they're not rejecting me because I have a bad face or a crap energy or no one likes me. It's just I didn't help them to trust me. And so the same thing goes for relationships as well. All your boyfriends and girlfriends and everyone that left you, there's a very good chance that it's not because, you're really this bad or evil person, even though my exes will tell you that's the case with me. But many times they've rejected you because they couldn't quite trust you. And you could have helped them maybe trust you a little bit more, and you didn't. It's really that simple. It's like we overcomplicate things. So that's the angle I'm going to use today, is to say, but how can we help other people to trust us better, so that they want to actually come around us? Many times they reject you, not because you're such a bad person, but because they got a trust issue. You see where I'm going? They've got the trust issue, and you're not helping them in order to overcome that trust issue. Now, you may say, Landi, honestly, I'm not a psychologist. It's not my job, but I do find that people in business who sell the best, who forms the best strategic partnerships, who have the best relationships, they have a word in their toolbox. And this word is a game changer, let me tell you. And that word is assure. Start assuring the people around you of things regularly. Assure your friends, assure your partner, assure your clients. What does that look like? That goes like, the client wakes up and call you and say, I'm not sure I want to do this anymore. I'm not sure it's right for me. It doesn't feel really good to me. What do? You go, oh, I did something wrong. Isn't that what we do? No, your client is scared. They don't feel good enough. They don't feel they're going to make it. They compare themselves to other people, whatever. So many times they don't know how to bring that message across to you, so they may blame you, but it's not the truth. It's not really what's going on. They're feeling unsafe. So they're not feeling safeties. They don't have their blankie with them, Suddenly the whole world is ripped from underneath their feet and they go, I don't feel safe. So for you to go to that client and get on a call and say, I assure you that you are good enough. I assure you, you're going to make it. I assure you that everyone's times change, whatever. I assure you, you're a rock star. That makes all the difference. And that's the approach we're going to use today. So I'm going to jump a little bit into the headings here and to the concept of trust. And I'm going to try and be a little bit quicker today because I want us actually to chat about this as well. So here's the money train. For those of you listening, we've been through the lead carriage of the money train. This money train is basically a way to get more business in, get more marketing in, get more sales in. And on the previous module or the previous lesson, which was module 5, lessons 1 and 2, I did an introduction on the money train. I spoke about the lead carriage. So if you missed a part on the lead carriage, and generating leads in itself is a big problem for you, I'll really recommend you go back to that one and have a listen. But today we on the second carriage, which is the trust carriage. So the idea is you get a person into your universe via some sort of lead generation strategy, whichever is right for you. And then once you have them on the train, as we say, you need to get them now into the trust carriage. In other words, your mission today with me is to get that person to trust you, not to trust you full stop, but to trust you as an expert in your field, right? So I want to look at trust from a commodity point of view today a little bit, because the more you can get people to trust you as an expert in your field, the more you're going to make money. It's really that simple. So if your business is not kicking off, or you don't have a lot of money in your bank account, or you've got a cash flow problem, or you're going, look, I want to 10x this year. I want to do way better than I want to, because you want to decorate your house, or you want to buy that cool car, or, you know, maybe you feel that, you know, other people are having this incredible lifestyle and you're not having it. Whatever you're doing, you know, people go on Facebook and X and TikTok and all these things and scroll and scroll and scroll. And we all have these wishes and desires, but you've got a trust issue. That's why your bank account's not actually showing what it should. And it's wonderful for you to find this out today, because if you realize you've got a trust issue, that means in 2025, you can improve a lot of areas in your life. You can improve a lot of your personal and intimate relationships. You can improve your relationship with your children. You can get, you know, better quality boyfriends and girlfriends and husbands and wives, and you can have more money, you can travel more, you can have more cooler clients. It's really all about trust. So it is a commodity. It's not something you want to really leave out. And again, it's about helping people to helping people in your target market. That's the other thing. It's no use you go out there and everyone trusts you, and you sit and you know, with your girlfriends all the time and hang out with them, or, you know, you go to networking events with the boys, or you're on the golf course all the time, or you're doing this stuff. And everyone trusts you. You're just great, but none of them are in your target market. So that's why that lead carriage is so important, because you have to first understand who's the people that you want to gain trust from. I see this many times in the speaking fraternity. We hang out, you know, everyone hangs out there in the speaking associations, and it's just wonderful. Or you hang out in the yacht club and at your book club or at your gym, whatever. Everyone loves you there. Everyone trusts you, but it's not your target market. So it's not really going to help you with your bank account, right? So we want to find those people. So let's look at the overall strategy of ways that you can get people to trust you. So this is in general, but I want to give you more specifics here. You know, if other people are talking about you, I'm actually now have an infographic here in front of me. For those of you who can't see it, the first number here is testify. If other people are testifying about how trustworthy you are, you're probably going to do very well. But what we do is we put things on LinkedIn. We have client testimonials on LinkedIn, or we have, you know, social proof online, or we have people introducing us, and they'll go, for example, hi, oh, you have to meet Ina Hammer. She's an amazing woman. Now, Ina specializes in men, right? And especially in the confidence that men gain. In order to have a really better life, you know, better business, better life, better everything. Now the guys stand there. That line that was given is not necessarily going to make him trust Ina. He goes, yeah, she's an amazing woman. And in his mind, he goes, yeah, well, right. Every single amazing woman I knew basically screwed me, like literally stabbed me in my back, right? So it's not helping him to trust. So that's what's so important when you use people's testimonials or people's introductions, that they use trust in this. Hi, this is Ina. She's an amazing woman, but I know of so many men who trust her and no one else. You see the difference. Now the guy go, oh yeah, okay. So, that creates a little bit more. Or, this is Ina, she's an amazing woman. You can totally trust her because of her. I basically are dating like a rock star at the moment. You see, so it becomes a bit more clear to people that there's a trust issue that's Ina's reliable. That's basically Ina's reliable. Ina can trust you. Ina's going to give you a result. Which get me to the second part here of gaining trust is there has to be results for other people. And you have to give people in your life results. If there's no results, it's very difficult for people to trust. I mean, I'm going to take you as to a very typical example. Married couple or two people together running a household one-on-one, You say to your partner, oh, you know what, I really want to trust you. And your partner say, I really want to trust you. And then your partner asks you, you know what, your job is actually to throw out the garbage, or your job is to, fold my undie, or whatever it is that happens in your household, whatever floats your boat. And now it's not happening, So now the person going, don't want to be bad, but that's sort of the thing that we agreed on. And then a second time, it doesn't happen again, and it doesn't happen again. Small little foxes, right? Small little things causes huge trust issues. You don't have to go and cheat on someone or, talk behind their back. We are looking for proof of trust. So if you've promised a client or a partner, look, you're going to give them a result, and there's no result, and it's a problem. I spoke to the lady the other day who's doing my nails. We actually have the most epic conversations, and she was complaining. And I want to give you this example because I want to make it really real for you today. We would say, so many people would say to me, oh, you know what, my partner, it's always my partner, I do this for him or her, and I do that for him and her, and I cook, and then I do this, and then I do that, whatever, and they don't notice it anymore. I mean, how many of you have been in that situation? It's quite a universal situation, right? I do this, I do that, they don't notice it anymore. And I was saying to her, look, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news here, but you sort of have to remind someone sometimes your worth, Otherwise, it's actually normal for people to get into this whole groove of that's just the way it's going to be, right? So I said to her, if you spent 2 hours today doing the washing and you folded, that washing beautifully and you put it in the closet, and your partner comes home from work, you sort of have to showcase that, don't assume. I think assumption destroys people and destroys relationship because we make up this stuff in our heads that's not true. So if this partner comes home, you go, look what I've done here. Look how lucky you are. Look, I washed it. It took me 2 hours out of my day. I did this, I did that. Kissy, kissy, kissy. And come, take my hand. Come, I want to show you something nice. And you lead them there to the bedroom. They go, have you ever in your life seen a stack of undies that is so beautiful folded? And do you know how much love is there in that stack? And it's not just stacked, it is sprayed with a homemade linen spray that just smells amazing, right? So if you don't do that, people's going to forget. If you think that people, especially if you spoil them, and remember, I'm talking about partners, I'm talking about clients, I'm talking about friends. If you assume that you're going to constantly spoil people and their gratitude levels is going to remain the same, you are living in a little bit of an illusion. You're living and it's not because you're a bad person, it's because you don't understand psychology. You don't understand it. So your heart breaks, right? You've now folded the thousands undie, and you don't understand why people appreciate you. You are bending over backwards, and you don't understand why people don't appreciate you. You know why they don't appreciate you? Because you've cultivated a situation where they expect this to happen now. And also, here is the funny thing. because you've set the bar so high, they probably will expect more and more and more. That's why you have to serve as a reminder of the contributions that you're making. And it's not a bad idea to make comparisons. So, for example, say, here's the stack of undies. This is how much time it took. You know, I don't want to be funny, but I don't know about many other people who would do that. No, everyone are feminists and they're not going to fold your undie. So just look how lucky you are, right? So there in that is a formula. This is the same formula you can apply to new clients and current clients. Why is this important? Because when we talk about the trust carriage, we're talking first date. We're not even talking marriage. I mean, the example I've given you now is when a person is later down the money train with you, when the person is already a client or they're in the love carriage. When you're in the trust carriage, you are trying to get people in your target market to trust you as an expert in your field. But you're talking about strangers here. This is dating 101. This is why dating go wrong with people, because again, all these assumptions happen on the first date, and also the inability to assure other people also happen on the first date. It's no different with your clients. What happens on the first date? Oh yeah, hello. I just want to let you know that I'm an incredible catch. And because of that, I have a string of people waiting for me. And by the way, I don't want to have children. So pee on the stick, because I want to make sure that you're completely infertile, because that's not what I want. And also, I just want to let you know that I have a string of gifts. Do you think I'm creating trust with that person on the first date? I've set it up for an absolute disaster. But that's how we do that, right? That's how we do stuff. And that's why that person on the first, that poor first person, all they can think of is, I need to get out of the situation as soon as I possibly can, because this person can't be trusted. They're going to destroy my heart. They're going to talk bad about me. They're going to do all these things. And I'm using this analogy today so that you can see where we all go wrong. We all go wrong, right? So taking you back quickly to the money train, I just want you to understand this very well, because people get confused. Because I always say, because what I'm telling you is you need to be more relatable, basically, and likable, right? Then you can say to me, Landi, honestly, I'm confused. You tell me I should position myself. So how does it work now? Positioning, if you look here at the money train, positioning happens way before you go on your dating process. Positioning is you've got a good skin. Positioning is you've lost your extra weight. Positioning is you're reeling in all the awards. Positioning is people are really talking about you and they love what you do. Positioning is you are giving out constant things out there to the universe and to people on your platforms that shows you legit. Then you move on to the lead carriage. Then you only start the conversation with people in your target market. So by the time you get to the trust carriage, you sort of want to get off your high horse, if it makes sense. You know, at this stage, you sort of now have already positioned yourself. So in the trust carriage, you're not really sitting there and telling people, you know, you are the best of the best of the best. You are relatable, and you do subtle comparisons of what makes you actually a good catch, what actually makes you a gem, and why you want to go, what assurances you can give that you're actually going to give this person a result because of results you've given other people. So in this trust formula, you want people to testify about you. I'm not talking about you. I'm sorry, I don't have other props. I'm using my brush, right? You don't, when you, it's good when you do Zoom calls to have a brush, but so this is now this is my telephone, right? So you call people, you don't call people and say, hello, I need some testimonials on my LinkedIn page. Can you please give me testimonials? And go, no problem. And boop, you put the phone down, and then they go, let me give you a testimonial. You want people to want to testify for you because they're so crazy about the results you give them. It's different. Look, if people are not talking about you, you're not a bad person, but they're not talking about you because they're not feeling a result. More importantly, they're not talking about you because they think in some way you're not to be trusted. I'm not saying it to you because you're a bad person. I'm saying it because of how you come across to them. and that make them form assumptions. And they're forming assumptions because of the sum total of the experiences they had up until this point. So you can see, it doesn't actually have a lot to do with you, which is weird. Your job is just to try and reverse engineer that thing and go, look, I know you've got a lot of assumptions. I know a lot of people screw you. I know you're worried. I know you've done all these things. I'm not that person, right? I'm not that person. So I'm going to assure you A, B, C, D, E, F, G. That is what trust is all about. Also, if you want to gain people's trust, you want to give them a little bit of a bottomless pit. So the third thing here in the formula is to give them unlimited something. Now, I'm not saying unlimited time of yourself, but you have to give them unlimited something. So let me give you an example of how unlimited work. I go out for drinks with Rauda. Now, I'll probably be ordering my wine, and Rauda will probably be ordering a sparkling water. Rauda is telling me, look, Landi, I'm going through a really bad and tough time in my life, and I don't know what to do. Now Landi's thinking, I've got a formula for Rauda that's part of my intellectual property, and now I hold back. Now I go, oh, what if Rauda steals my intellectual property? I'm just going to give her 1 point of the formula in case she steals my intellectual property and go and speak on stage in Dubai. That is someone who's massively holding back. So when you're in your heart, you're going to sit at that meeting and you're going to give Rauda the entire formula. You're not going to worry about her stealing your intellectual property, whatever. And you, for that hour, is going to be like a bottomless pit that's going to come forth and give everything. Now, people get confused with that because they go, but Landi, I give all my time to people all the time, and it doesn't convert into a sale. Now, the idea is not to give all your time unlimited to people and be available at 3 o'clock in the morning. But the idea is that when you're there, when you're on a call with a person, when you are on a pitch with a person, when you are on a discovery call with a person, I'm talking initially, you give your everything. Another way to look at unlimited is in terms of the type of products you provide to people. So saying to people, you have unlimited access to me, but within boundaries will really, really help people trust you. To say to people, you've got unlimited Wi-Fi will really, really help people trust you. That's why, the moment you go for a cell phone contract, the moment you go for Wi-Fi and they go, oh, but you know what, you get 60 minutes. And then, do you trust? You go, oh, no, you're going to screw me and you're going to charge me extra bills or whatever. That's why it's so powerful to go to a client and say, look, I'm just going to charge you for this service, $10,000. That's what I'm charging you. No upsales, no hidden costs, no add-ons, no extra invoices, no surprises. When you've paid that, you get unlimited access to the resort. How does that feel? You go, wow, okay, at least I know now what I'm paying. Everything's unlimited use of the pool, unlimited use of my coach, unlimited use of the app, unlimited. So if you can go and look at that, a way you can do, you can just compare yourself with products sometimes. Many of us are in the services industry, so we compare ourselves in the services industry, but go and look what they do in the products industry to create trust with people, and especially around the unlimited part of the formula, and see how you can translate that into the services you provide. Fourth one links onto that, safety. We all had a blankie when we were babies. Those blankie got taken from us. Now that you're dealing with adults, you think, again, you assume people don't feel unsafe and you assume people don't freak out. So don't take things at face value. When your client freaks out, rather than making your back stiff and goes, ooh, what have I done wrong? What have I done wrong? Stupid client. We do that, right? We do that also when a person attacks us. We immediately feel we've done something wrong. What about next time when a client attack you, or a partner attack you, or freaking an angry bird attack you, whatever? How about your first reaction is, oh gosh, this person is feeling so unsafe. What do you think will happen when someone is screaming at you? Now, I'm not condoning someone screaming at you, right? But what do you think will happen if someone is screaming at you and your first reaction is not, protecting yourself, but your first reaction is, what on earth has happened here that this poor person is feeling so incredibly unsafe? Can you imagine how our conversations will differ? So there's a very good chance if you've spoken to a corporate, because a lot of people want to get into corporate environments, right? There's a very good chance if that corporate is sending you an email, hi Shazar, thank you for your proper presentation, blah, blah, blah. We decided to not go with you, to ask yourself, what have I done to not make this person feel safe enough? What did someone else do to make them feel more safe? And how can I respond to this email to make them feel safer? Hi, dear Ismail. Today it's going to be Ismail, right? Dear Ismail, thank you so much for coming back to me. I had an incredible time in your boardroom, meeting all of your people. I would love for you to have access to the most reliable and trusted solutions that's out there. And I just want to give you this opportunity to come with me to a lunch in future, and no strings attached, so we can talk about industry. I'm not going to take you to talk about any sale or the product I presented to you. I just want to get to know you better. And by the way, there's someone there in the water industry I met recently that has got a brilliant mind. They also know not to sell. So lunch is on me. I would love to take you out in the next 2 weeks. Now, it's a little bit of a poor scripted example, but you see the difference in responding like that as opposed to, okay, thank you, Ismail, go to hell. And I hope that the person that is gonna doing the service for you is gonna be screwing you, because ultimately I know I was the best. Again, a very extreme example, but that's our energy, right? Our energy is not of dealing with the person as if they've just gotten hurt and feel unsafe. Our energy is, how dare you reject me and you made a mistake. Very different energy. And then that's the safety part. What can we do to make people feel more safe? And then tangible. Again, I'm going to take you again back to the product industry, because many of you are in the services industry. Many times it's just this simple. Like, look, I love clothes. I love fashion. I love it. And I love the ability that you can buy online, because it solves a lot of problems for me. But I tell you, it's created a lot of problems for me as well, because I would buy something and it would come and it would not be the right size, or it's just completely not what you ordered, or my ability to engage my senses in the purchase is lost when you buy online. So I don't know why I do it, but I like to go to a shop if I want to relax. And then many times I don't even buy something, but then I go into the shop and I see a nice dress. Oh goodness, I have to touch it. I can't not touch it. I always think my fingers must sometimes have marks on it because of makeup or whatever. And I always try and be careful when I touch it, so I don't leave a mark, but I have to touch it. I can't not touch it. I go to a shop and buy a book and I have to sniff that book. I can't. I literally look around. I go, is anyone going to notice? I think Mike is so used to it. And I sniff the book. I don't know why, right? So, and if I go and buy shoes, I have to pick it up and feel it, even if I'm not going to buy the shoes. So aesthetics is huge, everyone. So if you stand at a network event and you explain, I'm going to go back to your example, Ina, you explain to people how you're going to help to feel men more, to make men feel more confident, and you're going to lift them up and you're going to rock their world, and you're going to put them in a position where other people can trust them, because that's really what it's about. And you're going to do all this thing. It's only coming out of your mouth. There's no substance. The only substance that this person has, the only thing tangible to sort of test that what you're saying is true, is the way you dress, potentially, and is potentially the people around you, because you can feel them and you can hear what they're saying. But what can you do? What can you leave with people? What sticky strategy is there to prove to this person, to give them an initial sample of what you're going to do for them? Now, I know in the services industry, it's not always easy to do that. And I have to tell you, I've seen very few people implement it. But the people who implement it is the people who do very well. For example, a tangible thing in your industry would to drag one of your good clients with you. You know, if I was doing what you were doing, you know, I would get a wingman as my most successful male client, and we'll go out for drinks all the time. And I'll say, look, here's living proof. And I'll show everyone his photo of what he used to look like. And if you have this reaction, oh, you know, you got something really tangible, right? Then people get it. It's sink in for them. Tangible is anything you can engage your senses with. It's anything you can touch, smell, feel, taste, hear. That's tangible, as opposed to something that sits in a cloud or something online or a promise that just came out of your mouth and there's no reason why people should trust you. Why am I taking you back to the product industry again? Skincare, right? You put it on your skin and you can immediately feel, look, it's going to work. Or perfume, you know. Rauda was gracious enough to give me a stunning gift when she came to South Africa, Chloe perfume from Dubai. And what happens when she hands me over that perfume? She tells me she's a quality person. There's something tangible. You know, if she gave me the same perfume from the same manufacturer in a plastic spray bottle, I probably would have chucked it to the corner and never used it. You know, it's how we are. And so our clients is potentially the same. So just quickly, a huge way for you to get trust with people is to do events. We love to create trust by running events. That's why we many times fly around the world and see people, because we're there. It's tangible. You can give people 3 hours of your time, or you can deliver a keynote speech, or you have other people at the event that go and testify, oh, this person changed my life. They've been so good for me. You can put banners up. You can create great positioning. Plus, you can create some trust. You can put your books out there. So you having your own events or attending other people's events is still one of the biggest, quickest rock star trust strategies that you can put into your business. One-to-one meetings, still there. So to go and meet with a person in a 5-star hotel, take them out for lunch, take them out for dinner, wine and dine, go for cocktail parties, you know, take people to a business breakfast, take them and get them to meet someone you know, during a finger meal, or like, you know, in France, I love this. They have these cheese parties where you invite a bunch of clients or associates, and you have different cheeses and with their different descriptions set out, and you have a cheese tasting. Or in France, they also do these dessert tastings. So you get people over for a dessert. So having all these boutique events and attending other people's events is really big. And I mean, if you take an Excel sheet and you start listing all the events that's out there in your area for 2025 and create some of your own events as well, you're going to create a trust as well. I'm putting this under one-to-one meetings because it's more of a personal one-to-one interaction than at an event where you stand on a stage, for example, or you're just an attendee and you don't get to talk to other people. But when you have these one-to-one meetings, your environment becomes a huge tangible strategy for you, because you become the environment. So if you do it in a 5-star hotel, people will naturally assume you're 5-star. If you do retreats for people, you help people relax, to do it in a real nice retreat setup will be very good for you. Even using nature, like a very well-known river or whatever, if that's the part of the service you provide. But one-to-one meetings also really, really big. I know a lot of people don't want to do it because they say it wastes their time. They don't have enough time. But the people who tell me this, drum roll, have like 1 meeting a week. Not enough, right? So if you are having 10 one-on-one meetings a week, then I'll say to you, okay, you need to start doing more events because I can see how you don't have time. But if you do 0 to 1 a week, you probably need to get onto the one-to-one meeting wagon because you're not doing enough. And it's very, 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 and remember, when I say one-to-one meetings, I'm talking about online discovery calls as well. I'm talking about giving people a free assessment and giving them free feedback. I'm talking about online as well. I'm not just talking about one-to-one meetings offline. And then the third one is it's still good old referrals. But again, it's the way in which you do referrals. It's not going to help me to go to Ina and say, hi, Ina, can you please give me a referral for a Circle of Excellence Gold member? by the way. Ina's very brilliant with referrals. So I'm thinking I'm going to dub you the networking queen, Ina. And now that you're in Dubai, I think you're going to like go times 100. So you're just such a connector. But it's not going to help me to go to Ina saying, oh, Ina, can you please give me a referral for a Circle of Excellence Gold member? And Ina go, oh, sure, no problem. And Ina come back and say, here's the name. Great, right? What I should be saying to Ina is, Ina, I want you to talk about people, about your ability to trust me, that you believe actually in your heart that I won't stab you in the back. You actually believe in your heart that I do have your best interest at heart and that I'm not freaking competing with you and trying to up you. You believe in your heart that when we at events, we're talking about you in a good way and we're not going to go, oh, Ina's this and Ina's like that, whatever. And if that's how you feel, if you can tell the person that you've not trusted any other coach before because they all screwed you, but with Mike and Landi, you actually trust us, that is a good referral. Can you send that type of person? Do you see how different it is in terms of the type of referrals you ask? So with referrals, it's really important that you set the person up. You have to tell the person what type of person you are looking for. You have to tell the person how the referral is supposed to come to you. Can they email you? Is there a referral system? Is there an affiliate link? You have to tell them exactly who you want. You have to tell them why you're looking for referrals. You have to tell them all these things. And, if you can put a referral kit together for people, it's useful, but I like to keep it quite organic. I like it when Ina's sitting and having a cocktail and the topic of Mike and Landi comes up. It's more natural and organic than Ina ripping out a referral kit and go, and by the way, here's my affiliate link. It just doesn't feel right? So the more premium you go, the more you probably want to steer away from these referral kits. But the more non-premium you go, in other words, you have more of a budget solution or a lower price solution, then a referral kit can work very, very well. Let's say, for example, you're selling your course on someone else's platform and that type of things, then referral kits are very, very useful. So this is where I want to conclude for the moment, everything, because we still have got 20 minutes left. And I want to conclude the topic here of trust from my side. And now I would like for you to engage a little bit, because engaging with other people help people also trust you, right? So let's engage a little bit with each other. Maybe you just want to introduce yourself to whoever's here. Maybe you had an aha moment or something, or maybe you just want to talk about trust in general or experiences you've had before. We would love to hear. Who's first? I'll just stare you up and down. I'm very happy at staring with people. I'm actually quite comfortable with that. Maybe you have something you want to share with the group. Maybe what you're going to share with the group today, someone here needs to hear. So don't be shy. Okay, quick. Is there anyone yep, Sahaja, we got a winner. Sahaja's on.
I think I just wanted to say that, it was great when you said more one-on-ones, because I do have discovery chats on my website, but I don't actually make a lot of emphasis on it. So I think perhaps I could bring that more forward and speak more about discovery chats and even do a few more socials specifically about discovery chats. And by the way, it's so nice to see such gorgeous lovely faces, Rhoda. Hello, hi Ina.
Aren't they beautiful?
Hi Stephanie.
Look at you all.
Hello the boys. I don't know. Hello Shazza. Hello, Landi.
Sorry, I'm
Lovely to
unwell.
see
That's
you.
why I'm not in the camera. Sahaja, thank you. How are you
That's
doing?
me.
Yeah, I'm unwell. Sahaja, thanks for your greeting.
Thank you, Sahaja, for that. It is wonderful to all see each other. And you know what? It's one of Mike's secrets. He is constantly on these one-on-one calls. He's constant. If I'm telling you, I know we always do it, right? But it's the truth. Like, when I have got a background here, you can't see stuff well, but honestly, he's constantly. I'm just going to do this a little bit. And now you can't see, can you? No, it's because of my background. Okay, wait. You can see the diary if I hold it up like this, can you? Look at all those markings. It's constant. And I'm telling you so many times, like, who's that person now you spoke to, and who's that person? So we're not even talking about that it's always income generating thing. I think it's energetic. I think for you to get away from your computer and be curious about people. And to be very honest with you, it's something I struggle with as well. Like, I've been thinking, where do I need to be constantly talking to people? I can sometimes be a hermit myself. It's like, choose, what would you rather do? Would you rather sit and, I love working with the clients because there's already a trusted relationship, but there's new people and now I have to gain trust, and I get it, right? So the only way I like to do it, I don't like necessarily to sit on calls and meet people and discover about their lives. It's part of my personal development journey to be more interested and curious about people, right? I can totally do it in a social setting. So if Mike says to me now, oh, Landi, we're going to a cocktail party, no problem. Because why? Now I'm in my element, right? Now I can dress up and I can choose my outfit and I can go there and I can do my soiree and I can ask people, no problem. And I can have my wine o'clock and I can have my snacks, no problem. But now let's take that same thing during 8 to 5. Oh, kill me with boredom, right? But that's not the people's problem. It's me learning to have a genuine interest in people in certain areas. So if you can do that, if we all can do it, if we all can really learn from Mike, because I hear him on his calls, he's genuinely interested in the people. And you see, people feel these things. And this is how lead generation also works. Lead generation is people can feel, he sits on the calls and go, yeah, tell me about yourself, and this is interesting, and wow, I didn't know that. Some of these people come of our masterminds, some of these people's in his speaking fraternity, some of these people is podcasts that he appears on. He's genuinely showing up and interested for people, and that benefits us a lot from a new business development point of view. And that's what we're talking about from a marketing. So if you let me loose, if you let this tiger out of her cage, right? And I wasn't married and I wasn't like, older and mature, and you let me loose there in the corporate world having drinks with everyone, you would have the same spin-off effect. But I'm not that person anymore. It's not really what I want to do anymore. I don't want to necessarily be out there having constant snacks and wine o'clock. So for me, when I had my consulting business, when Mike wasn't in my life, it worked brilliantly. It worked very well, right? But it's not necessarily going to work for all of us on this call anymore. So that means you have to develop a curiosity and an interest in people, that's going to constantly keep this flow and keep this energetic karma, I want to say, an influx of energy exchange in your life that will, by the way, and this is not the overall thing, it's just a symptom. The symptom or the not the symptom, the result of you doing this will naturally be money. And that's where we go wrong. We always talk about money. How can I make money? How can I be more cash flow? That's not your problem at all. The problem is the ability to help people in your target market, help you as an expert or trust you as an expert in your field by you going and creating a deep, meaningful interest and curiosity in other people. Why do we get blocked by this? I have a idea, and I can only share that idea because of where I am in my journey in trying to develop more of a curiosity in people. Because remember, Mike's the one who wants to change the world. He wants to help people. I want to take over the world. I'm more of a villain, right? So it's extra harder for villains to have that extra curiosity in people. My inclination is we don't sit between 8 to 5 on discovery calls, assessment calls, podcasts, conversations, because we're not quite yet operating in the field that is of the most interest to us. That's my suggestion. And so I'll give you an example. Who am I going to pick? Yeah, I think I'm going to pick Chantel. You knew it was going to be you, Chantel. So, okay, Chantel, what do you love doing? It's one of your best things. Try and make it not business related. It can be you love your wine o'clock. It can be you love to read. It can be you like to plant strawberries. What do you love?
You know what I love? I love cooking.
Cooking, right? So if Chantel was sitting every single day from 8 to 5 and she was a guest at other people's cooking shows, she would be untamable, unstoppable. You won't be able to stop. She would not be able to she would get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, work out her recipes, because today she's on this guest show with this hunk, and next day she's on this guest show with this person, and now she's with Gordon Ramsay, and now she's with this one. And what she does is she talks about life and food and the experiences. She look at her, suddenly I don't have to say to her that between 8 to 5 you have to reach out and make calls with people. That's what I suspect is the problem. That's why it's so easy for Mike to sit on these calls and over and over and over and over, because he is genuinely interested in the fields in which he has these, is genuinely interested in conscious leadership. He's genuinely interested in people stepping up and playing a bigger game. He's genuinely interested in what people's potential are. It's something he's super passionate about. I mean, we'll walk into a room, honestly, ask yourself, be honest with yourself. When you walk into a room, what's the first thing you think? Is the first thing you think when you walk into that room, oh, I just want that person to have a breakthrough experience? Or is the first thing you think, I just want that person to have the best teaching about customer relationship management ever? Or I want that person to do whatever you teach people? Or, because that's what Mike think. He walks into rooms and he go, this one's got great potential, this one's got great potential, this. That's not what Landi think. That's not what I think. I think, where's the wine? That's what I think first. Second, I think, what are people wearing? It's all consuming. It's all I can think about. I go, how's that fitting that body type, and how's that fitting that body type, and how that is sitting. Oh, that's a good piece, and I wonder where they bought it, and wow, that hairstyle fits that person beautifully. Oh, those glasses complete. What do you think it's telling you about me, right? So the same things go for you guys. You need to find that stuff. It doesn't mean that you have to remove your products and services, but it does mean that you want to include spice in what you're doing with your business, so that you can sit on calls from 8 to 5 with people and have a genuine interest, and they'll trust you much easier. Maybe some of you have had an aha moment here.
Well, if I may share.
You may.
Good morning, everybody. Nice seeing the familiar faces.
Good to see you, Stephanie.
I was at a congress, attending a congress. I'm in the professional medical field. And what you've discussed this morning, one thing that was proof now this weekend was a wingman. I had one of my older colleagues, she was a rep for me in the beginning as well, but she's as experienced as I am in the field. And but she came to visit me. She's a friend, but she also came to assist me at the stand because she's got knowledge of the product and the field as well. And the professor that was, of course, they were international attendees, delegates, but there was one professor that I've seen in the beginning of when I had this business, and I just didn't get any feedback. He's actually on board of one of the major medical aids, medical funds. And I just never got a breakthrough to him with regards to my product. And she knows him because she was a service provider, and she had a little bit more of a closer relationship with him. So she dragged him to the booth and had a chat and said, yeah, she uses this product. She used this product in her unit as well, and blah, 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 blah. And then I could come in, and then I spoke about one part of the product, and then he was all ears. And then he said to me, well, this is sold, and he will motivate that with a medical aid and stuff like that. And I just now had a call. That's when I blanked out. It was a call from him. So that is super proof of having a wingman, because he didn't know me well. He didn't trust me well. I'm just a rep, somebody just to sell the product. He doesn't know my history and my experience, but he knew my friends and my colleagues one. So absolutely proof of having a wingman is absolutely very, very powerful.
That's such a lovely sharing, Stephanie. I mean, I saw your photos on Facebook. You look like a glowworm, right? You're glowing because finally someone's got your back, you know, someone is actually bringing you to the forefront and explaining. It does really help to work in pairs, you know. You can literally take a pen and put the pen in front of you and try and get this pen to stand. People, it's going to fall over, you know. If you have two things, like that's why God gave you two legs, that's why you're not looking like a flamingo with one leg, because you would fall over all the time. That's why you got two legs, because it causes more balance. Why do we try and do things alone? You sit there in front of your computer after your 7,000th coffee and tea, and you don't know why things are not happening because you're alone. You're doing things alone. Going out there, having wingmen, having these conversations with people, forming friendships, bonding, connections, that is what's going to make your business glow the way Stephanie is glowing at the moment. Because that's what happens if you let these wingmen and people come and testify for you, and it helped that person to trust you, Stephanie, and an expert in your field. And again, there's assumptions and people's going to judge. What if Stephanie looked like the woman who left him 2 years ago? We don't think about these things. You look at Stephanie and go, I will never trust that woman. I don't trust that type of woman. I know that type of woman, right? So that is why more than anyone else, you need these people to help you so other people can trust you better, because we all are the masters of assumptions. That's what we are. We're the master. We make stuff up in our brains because of our past experiences, and then we assume that's how other people are going to be, and then they don't trust us, then they reject us, and then we even feel worse about ourselves. Can you see how we create a really, really bad spiral here? Thanks for that sharing, Stephanie. So tell me, before we jump off, what is different after today? What did you get from today where you went, I probably need to do that different? Yes, Ina.
Hi. Oh, yeah, this has been a brilliant session. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ina.
Definitely the whole wingman thing. I love that because I know that I do that for so many people. Or I just do it automatically. But you know what? I need to get my own as well.
You do.
Yeah, so when I'm settled in Dubai, when I'm seriously out there networking again, then I'm definitely going to keep that in mind and create a wing person. Whether it might be a female, but it'll be someone, and I'll do the
You
same.
need to buy bodyguards. Can you imagine if you start going out? I look at your photos, it looks like you're having an absolute ball. Can you imagine if you are known as the woman with her 2 male bodyguards that goes everywhere, and they are your testimonials? That's fun, Ina. It's fun, you know, and you just have these two guys, and you ask them always to come with you to networking events, and they drop literally rave about you and what you've done for them, and to be super funny. You have to be funny with these things. People don't trust it easy if the person's not funny. But, you know, if those two guys now start ripping out their photos of what they used to look like, and this one is talking about these now I have this girl and that girl, what do you mean are thinking? They're going, I really need to have more of that. I need more of that. And you don't always have to do it. You can make it a fun thing. Even speaking on stage with these two guys present can be incredibly funny, but it's powerful stuff.
I'm loving this. Yeah, I've learned so much today. Thank you so much. I've got some great. Yeah.
It's only a great session because I'm being my old clown self. That's why. Is there anyone else who has an aha moment that they want to change after today? Thanks for your sharing, Ina. Yes, Chantel.
Hi, Landi. I came in a little bit late, but when I came in, you were talking about, you know, sometimes we take rejection very personally, and I'm still, I cry in my pillow sometimes. Not thinking that it might not be about me. It's about how afraid the client is. It's about, you know, really looking at the world from their perspective and what's going on in their world. And I'm kind of listening to you and I go, I should know this because I'm the fucking CX prophet here. But just kind of getting over oneself and knowing that it's not about me, it's about how I serve. And maybe in that moment, they're just not ready to be served. So thank you.
Well, it's such a good sharing because that's where we get stuck. We're all right. This is exactly. So what you do, you go and get yourself 2 big fat papers. You're an artist, Chantel. You can do this very well, right? You go and get yourself 2 big fat papers, and these papers I don't care if they hang in your face when you wake up in the morning, right? But when you open your eyes, you look at those papers and you go, perspective or perception. So that the guy, your perception is he rejected you, or the client rejected you, because whatever your perception is, it's really, your perception will always be based on past experiences. It's really made up in your mind. And it's like that for all of us. Perspective is, okay, if I look at my Facebook, I come across a little bit as a heartbreaker and a man-eater at the moment. Maybe he's scared. That's perspective. That simple. And I'm not saying you are. I'm giving you an example, right? So if you're going to be on Facebook and you hanging, take the band Kiss, because Mike watches Kiss so much, If you're a Kiss band member and tomorrow you hang on this chick and tomorrow the next chick sits on your lap and the next day the other one, freaking hang, and then you are surrounded by 8 models and they're all ripped or whatever, do you think a quality woman can get in there? It's because of the perception it creates. It's impossible. That Kiss guy is going to be alone forever. Perspective is that he has to have these props around him all the time because it's part of his image, and he may be super, super alone and has never been able in all those girls to find a trustworthy woman. That's perspective. So you have to find a way with every single rejection or statement or story you tell yourself to discern between perception and perspective. And if you do that regularly, you'll get it right. But if you only remember to do it every time after you've been on a call with Landi, you're going to slide backward. That's why you need those 2 papers in your face. You need I'm a big fan of a piece of art in front of you when you open your eyes, so that it's literally in your face. And that piece of art, in your case, should be perception or perspective, And if you do that every single day, your confidence will go through the roof, because you'll start realizing that people's crap has nothing to do with you at all. In fact, you will start realizing that every rejection is a saving grace, and it's actually not a rejection. It's that person's insecurities. That's actually very little to do with you. Mike's words, what other people think of you is none of your business. Anyway, let me jump off the call because we're on the hour and I want to respect your time. I love all your faces until we meet again, and then we'll talk about the love carriage and we'll take it from there. Hope you have a wonderful week.